everyone, this is Tim at Wuxing 5 Element Wellness here in downtown White Salmon in the Columbia River Gorge. This video is about hydration. We'll be getting into the basics, how much you should have, how to get enough, and then we'll be diving into water metabolism, which is how efficiently you process water. So I'm going to be talking about minerals and how you get, get to a place where you're actually processing the water. Because you can drink a lot of water, but it could go right out the other end, or it could get stuck in places depending on your mineral balance. So talking about that. And then the other factor is movement, and the right kind of movement, because that's also going to develop or underdevelop or overtax certain organ systems which are responsible for processing water, right? So you're going to walk away with a very holistic viewpoint. And let's remember we're quote unquote 70% water, water everywhere in the body. Most of the blood is water. And even in our connective tissues, there's water. We do in Tai Chi, a lot of twisting movements or a lot of internal martial arts when they practice for health. That's kind of activating all of the connective tissues and dredging them of water. So getting rid of toxins in a way. And then of course, that slows down the breathing, and most of our toxins are exhaled through the breath, right? And then it allows the tissues to rehydrate. And if we're, sinking low into a horse stance, we're also getting that resistance exercise. According to a 2010 study, almost 75% of people are chronically dehydrated. Now, most people know, okay, dehydration, like a headache, it's a main symptom. Cramping is a symptom. Sometimes it's magnesium deficiency, but most often it's water deficiency. Constipation can be not enough water. It can be a lot of other things, but water and fiber are really big players there. Fatigue, you just get tired, the body needs to slow down, it's not getting something crucial. Anger, now the liver's overworking, getting this toxic buildup. Oh, and the kidneys too, because they're not getting enough, they did not have enough water, so it has to work overtime. And okay, kidneys are working overtime just to clean the blood, so there's not enough water. And then the heart's now, it's not able to maintain the blood pressure, along with the liver, also like this toxic buildup. It's like, where's the water? Now all of a sudden the heart's stressed, getting palpitations because now the kidney's not doing the job, so the heart has to work harder to maintain the whole system. So, all of this stuff, it just keeps on going. So the main, the question is, how do we get dehydrated in the first place? And first and foremost, it's not enough water. We just don't get enough. The Mayo Clinic published a study. I didn't think it's a study, just online. They were reviewing a previous study, and most of us, some of us didn't even get this. When I was teaching high school, the cups, 8 ounces a day was news to them. And they were, 14, living in the desert. And I'm like, how did you not get this? Like, how can you go through so much education and not like get these basic things? It's like we need, we have work to do, right? Um, so the yeah, so I guess the main thing, or the symptoms of dehydration, symptoms of heating and negative ions. But it's, so in that study, they said women need about 11.7 cups of water a day on average, and men need a little bit more. I think it was like 13 point something, which is that's almost 3 liters, or 3 to 1.5, like 64-ounce Coke bottles, but of water. And of course, there's individual variation. If you have more sodium and not the highly mineralized kind in your diet, you need to drink more to clear that out. Also, less fruits and vegetables, which have nutrients and minerals, which not only help clean the system, but help you actually get more, the minerals electrolyze the water, they make it lively, the body can use it, right? And without that, you need to drink more water to move things through, and you need to like improve your metabolism, so you probably need to do more exercise as well. And then you're able to at least get to a baseline. But it's a bit more work, it's a bit more water. Obviously, if you're sweating more and it's hot out, then you need more water. If it's less hot, then maybe you need less. And also we have different bodies, right? Some people they hang on to water. And I mean, I think a lot of this is dietary, not enough minerals, you hang on to water. Most of the table salt, so like the good salt is the pink salt or Celtic sea salt, or I just saw Baja Gold. There's the Chinese Taoist bamboo salt. That's also very mineralized, although the higher potencies you don't really want to use for cooking. But I mean, yeah, but there's there's the regular table salt has been stripped of all its nutrients, and those are except maybe iodine, and those are really the nutrients that are helping your body to process water effectively, making it alive in a way. And so you just have sodium, and you have something that's essentially toxic. I mean, it's not, small amounts you can do, but without those minerals to balance it out, it very easily gets more than is necessary and stresses the system. Now I think you can go to Costco and get a bottle of the pink salt for like $2.50. So it's really accessible. There's not really an excuse for having the big canister of table salts with no nutrients in it. Like, there's just not a good excuse anymore. Borrow, if you have nothing, get your friend to buy, some pink salt, and import that, and you'll be good to go, right? So, okay. How do we ensure we get enough water? Uh, Okay, wait for it. Wait for it. Drum roll. You got it. Yeah, yeah, that's the right answer. Carry a water bottle. Pure and simple. You won't forget to carry it around. So good. Now we're going to move into hydration secrets. So there's a few ways to do this, right? Hydration secrets. So let's start with the things that you didn't think of. So most people nowadays know of electrolytes. They're getting all these extra hydrating drinks. Oh, that's what we got to talk about, water filters, right? So we'll get there. But salt, electrolytes are minerals, right? A good salt has those electrolytes. You can sprinkle a little bit in your drink, and you can avoid a lot of the electrolyte mixes that have sugars and these other things, that super high doses of vitamins that probably can have the reverse effect of dehydrating you, because now your liver and your kidneys have to work harder to get rid of the nutrients that you maybe don't need, right? That ideally are coming from a well-balanced diet. And of course, that you do have to move. This is, again, nobody's talking about this, but you have to move enough to get the system to be able to be energy efficient and to have a need for nutrients and to be able to get rid of what it doesn't need. And a lot of that does happen through the exhale, through the breathing. And that just helps a lot. Of course, you're digesting. It's more, exercise is more, the right kind anyways, is more than just improving your body's function. You're improving your brain function by creating room, space between you and life, and you're getting an opportunity to process things and bring them to a higher level so that you're less you're able to move forward in life versus just stuck in the same cycle. And I do think that's why, that's certainly why I moved out to the Columbia River Gorge, out of the city of Portland. Not that if I woke up early enough in the city or in the right moments, I couldn't get insights. But it's just a bit easier out here. If I really need to get some deep insight into nature or the way of the world, I just go walking, and whatever needs to be planned for, it kind of comes to me, right? Nature is intelligent and it guides you to see what's important, right? So you're not like inadvertently missing something. Yeah, depending on what you worship in life, I think there are other things that can bring you to that same awareness. Relationship, people who have wisdom, right? But nature for me it's really important, right? Okay, so hydration secrets. So we just talked about salt, adding a little bit of salt to your water. Lemon, it's great. What does lemon do? Well, from a Western perspective, it has vitamin C. Vitamin C is good for you, right? It's good. From an Eastern perspective, the sour flavor generates fluids. Now, you literally think of a lemon and you eat a little bit and you start salivating, right? Well, that's, the idea that sour flavor, it just Maybe it is the nutrients, but something about it helps kind of gather the fluids. Maybe it's almost yeah, almost it's like toning in a way. Like you think of a puckering, it's getting tighter. So it's almost maybe doing the same thing that certain, slow moving exercises do, like you're toning things. And I think maybe that's what the sour flavor does. It's toning. You can think of slow movement. I'm challenging the blood vessels and I'm relaxing them. There's relaxation and a stretch. This is the science of Tai Chi and Qigong. I'm toning them. So they're getting stronger and smoother, right? Toning. So I can think of the same thing like with that lemon water, right? Again, not enough water. I think we covered the main things, right? You get dry skin, red eyes, dry eyes, dry skin, too much sugar. Sugar will dry out your skin. You'll get it appearing in the face. Again, water goes a long ways to counterbalancing those things. Movement goes a long ways. Fruits, vegetables go a long ways. The one thing, so yeah, people aren't thinking about this, but from a Chinese, you go to Asia and everyone's always drinking hot water or warm water. And Indian restaurants, I mean, it's different now, but a lot of them just serve you water. There's no ice, right? It's room temperature. And I think there's a logic to that. Our body temperature is about 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 32, 33 Celsius. And for things to be processed, they need to be heated up to body temperature, right? So if I'm drinking water that's really cold, then it's taking energy to warm it up. If I'm drinking water that's really hot, it's taking energy to cool it down. Now, maybe one of the benefits of drinking hot water, if you're not just like, insanely sipping it and you've got used to it, which is maybe some of the case in Asia, is it does force you to slow down. You could say the same thing about really cold water. Like you just can't have too much of it at once. You have to really be still. And if you're not still, you hurt yourself. That process of being still it's like forced meditation, right? And I think there are better ways to meditate than meditating in water. So that's why I do think, slightly hot, slightly cooler, these are good places to be. Now, meditating on water is bad. I just think there's maybe better uses of your meditation time. There is merit to drinking the warm substance. Even the cold water is said to you can think of the blood vessels of the stomach, and if it's too cold, they literally constrict, and the stomach gets less energy, less blood flow, less blood circulation. It's going to be less good at digestion. The Chinese make it simple. They just say you're shutting out the stomach fire, right? So yeah, water temperature is important. And that's one little hydration secret. Yes, this last one, it's just movement, right? How do you if you're not moving, so I'm not mirroring you. So on your right side, this, if you're mirroring me, you're going to be on your left side. So your right side, your liver is right here. Liver is one of the organs responsible for processing water, right? The heart helps pump too. Heart's here on the left side. You're not mirroring me. Heart right under the breast. You can feel it beating. That's the best way to feel for heart. But the liver is here, right here. It's a really dense organ. It does a lot of other things. It sends nutrients to the extremities. But if we really want to give these organs good energy, like they're the water processors, right? And I do think there's water everywhere in the connective tissue, so that's where these stretching exercises help. Here I'm twisting. It's almost like that. My Tai Chi teacher used to use this comparison where kind of squeezing out a wet towel in a way. And then you relax, and it rehydrates. But you can kind of do this. So I'm doing the opposite in the back, stretching all the way forward. I actually have a video like this on my main channel, which has a lot of relaxing music too. So my palms going the opposite direction behind me. I'm really stretching all the way up. And we can call this water, I don't know, squeezing out the towel. Qigong is a general word for energy work. Qigong it comes with the renaming of old movement called Daoyin. Daoyin is literally guiding and leading, probably talking about qi or energy. But it could be water, guiding and leading water, guiding and leading the nerves, the connective tissue pathways. And then the kidneys are in the back. So how do we work those? Well, we can, I'm just putting my hands there, but squats, low lunges, or low standing Tai Chi. It's a martial art. It's really Tai Chi. Tai Chi Chuan means grand ultimate fist. And there again, we're stretching, we're moving, the back is round, so we're always wrapping the kidneys, which are one of the big water processors, so detoxifying water. They're helping maintain mineral balance, getting rid of certain drugs, allowing you to pee that out. And then they're kind of like keeping the good stuff and putting the good stuff back into circulation, right? And making that water more alive, right? So you need minerals to do that. And that's where having the mineral-rich balanced diet helps. They do have mineral drops, which you can add to water, which a lot of people do. And okay, this is really important. So stuff like coffee, people do develop a tolerance to these effects. But in one study, coffee reduced iron metabolism by up to 75%. And also reduce the absorption of other minerals, possibly just due to the diuretic effects. Now, a lot of people, and certainly there's good arguments for this, arguing that caffeine is a toxin. And certainly it's broken down in the liver like a lot of common toxins. And certainly, one can argue the diuretic effect. is, that making you pee, making you need to go poo is a kind of like trying to get rid of the toxic material, right? And certainly, I think they may have found one animal that can like tolerate it, but most animals, it's not. It's really bad for you. Like the different animals on caffeine, just like they shouldn't have it. And in nature, caffeine functions as a pesticide, right? It's a natural pesticide. So I wrote a whole book on this. You can see it on my academia page. I'll put the link below, right? I used to have it on the Amazon, but I realized it's such a complex topic. I really want to know more on it. But what I wrote way back when, it's still so true. So yeah, the one rule of thumb I've heard, and again, this is just a general rule, is that you should drink half your weight in body weight, half your weight in ounces of water. So this is an American thing. We use pounds. I think if you're in kilos, probably you can just say drink. Oh, but then you have to do liters. So let me think about that. But like, let's just keep things to America. So let's say you're 160 pounds. That means you should be drinking at least 80 ounces in water. And then for every cup of coffee you drink, you should have that many additional ounces in water. So even though in the science, they say you develop some tolerance to the dehydrating effects and diuretic effects and most of the other effects of caffeine, you still want to balance it out, right? But still, yeah, extra in the system. And so you probably want to give a little extra to clear it out. So you can maintain a clear mind, free of the potentially harmful effects of a substance to the extent it's possible, right? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes we just have to let go of those things. Like you can't, yeah, maybe better ways to go about getting the energy that we need. So good. I'm glad we touched on that. Yeah, coffee, tea can be very dehydrating. Yeah, I'm gonna put the link to that below, along with the I think we have a few other links I mentioned. And yeah, the water filters, I guess. The best water filters are not the reverse osmosis, but they're the ones that keep the minerals in. Reverse osmosis removes all the minerals. So the water ends up being slightly acidic, which over time can leach nutrients out of the system. Certainly you want the water filters that keep some of the minerals in, right? But remove all the stuff you don't. Some people, in the States, they fluoridate the water, and some people are claiming thyroid issues or a number of other things. And there's legitimate research to be concerned about. And maybe there's a better filter on the market now. You can do your research, but when I did my research 10 years ago, and tried to find the absolute best filter, it led me to the Berkey water filter, which is used like with mud water by the Red Cross in the field. and it has these big black carbon filters, and they filter. You can just pour water in, and it'll pretty quickly filter water, and they have anywhere from like 1 gallon or 1.5 gallons to 5.5 gallons holding capacity. And it keeps the minerals in, right? And somebody did the math, but compared to a Brita filter, which ends up costing, like for every filter replacement, it ends up costing like 20 cents a gallon. The Berkey filter only costs 2 cents a gallon. So it's a much bigger upfront investment, anywhere from 150 for the small one to 300 something for the large one. But it very quickly pays for itself, and you end up having a much better water filter that gets rid of what you don't need. There's even a fluoride filter on the Berkey water filter, and I should get them to sponsor this video. Actually, we should do that. And I think, yeah, so that's, that's something to consider and to look out for. And I can personally recommend the Berkey water filter. Does take a little bit of work. It's not, you don't just turn on the faucet. You have to fill it up. I think I did it just with big jars, or ended up having like a bucket that I used every day. That I would just fill up and stand on a chair and fill up the thing. You do need it's good to have like a stand, or a little wooden stand you can put it on, so that you can reach up and pour water in. I'm having fond memories of doing that every day, actually. Yeah, I think it's a great filter. So I can't think of anything more. I think it was pretty comprehensive. We covered the warm water. We covered the movement, where the organs are. You can really, every time you're doing the side stretch or side plank, you want to do it as gentle as possible. You don't want to overstrain the liver or the organs. You want to be gently guiding the energy there, right? That's the Tao Yin, really Tao Yin. Listen to the qualities of Tao. Tao, it's going so, right? And Yin, it's a soft, it's like a nourishing that area. So we really want to be kind to the organs, warm it up first, and then really feel that area and be like, oh, okay. And then you can take the stretch a little bit deeper. Okay. And then you can do the other side, right? And now I'm working on the spleen, stomach, which in Chinese medicine actually is fluid metabolism organ. So it's less so in the Western worldview, but the Eastern worldview is actually pretty important. Okay? And, when we do think of Western, even biomedicines, it's indirectly, like the pancreas helps digest the food through hormones, which nourishes the liver, right? Gives the liver energy. Or the pancreas helps break down food in the intestines, which then goes up to the liver and nourishes the liver. So, which then can circulate and perform its role. So it does, like, if the pancreas, spleen isn't working right, then the liver is not working as well. It's not getting the nutrients that it needs. And then stuff in the intestines isn't working or moving as it should, and then you get back to the liver, and then get angry because this have this toxic flow. So yeah, it does. You want to work both sides to get all the organs right. It's the main point. Breath. If you in through the nose, out through the nose, right? Emphasizing. And then, yeah, with the kidneys, really squats are great, right? Really, I mean, we can do push-ups, or you can just gently do some hip. I'm just standing a bit more than shoulder width apart, kind of just moving my hips back and forth. Good. Look. Oh yeah, hips moving. But no, I have my hands on my hips and I'm just rotating back and forth. You can do slow or big rotations. Really, what you want to do is it's very slow crunches or very slow squats. You can even do a wall sit. Or, even if I'm lifting and now I'm feeling my back, I'm lifting up through my hands and I'm trying to, my legs can't really see it. So my legs are wider than shoulder width apart. My knees are slightly bent. And maybe this is chair pose. I'm lifting up through my hands and I'm sinking down until I can start to feel my pelvic bowl relax. And that gets the back of my body, my tailbone, to sink as well. And so that's then creating this bowl to be able to collect the water, the sacred water, in this lower bowl area is called the elixir field, or dantian, in the qigong traditions. So I'm sinking low enough. My knees are slightly bent. My hands are up, feeling that opening stretch, opening slightly through the hands. Which again, as I pull forward, I'm sinking down to wrap the back and activate the kidneys, right? And every time I even just feel the low back, right? I'm just sinking slightly. I don't have to challenge it too much since I'm tired. And out. And so, yeah, what we're doing with that relaxation is not only activating, circulating that area, right where the kidneys are, right? Actually, deep breath, bottom of the lungs, fall right on top of the kidneys as well. So deep breath is that activating that area, right? And this for you Chinese medicine folks watching, I think when they say the kidney qi grabs the lungs, it roots the lungs, roots the breath. I think this is what they talk about. Kidneys are warm. They're warming that very bottom part of the lungs, which then can relax, open, grab the qi, right? Grab the air, grab that really, and vice versa. When you're breathing deeply, really expanding the body, the lungs, or warming kidneys, right? Warming that area. What that's doing, all of those, with that relaxation, all of those veins, all of those arteries, everything that's filtering the water and the blood in that system is becoming more open, more relaxed, more efficient, more toned, right? Toned, toned, toned. It's like it's relaxed, but it's not lax. It's active. It's toned, right? Oh, you think of that. Oh, even that sound. Oh, it's like a tube, and that it's getting more refined. Oh. So this is what we want. This is that in every vessel. This is why we do this. Even the connective tissue, everything is tubes, right? We want those tubes to be stretching and toned. So think of that. Just think of that. And that's going to allow the water to flow and toxins to go and that good stuff to be refined, right? And so then you have that mineral balance, which is allowing you to process the water. Of course, you have to get enough, so that's why you carry a water bottle. Yeah, the fruits and vegetables, and if you can't, you better make sure you're getting enough exercise and water to make up for it. And good. Okay. Breathe in, out. And if you think this is the coolest thing since sliced butter, since butter toast, since Pokemon Go, first give us a thumbs up. Go and like our Facebook page so you definitely stay on track. Share with your friends. Be like, dude, this guy's kind of cool. He's got some things to say that are really practical and like unique, because it's not just Western basic health advice. It's the Eastern component too, right? Coming right down this center line. Chinese medicine is translated as Zhongyi, but that's another center, medicine center. And yeah, if you want to come hang out with me in my clinical private practice here at Salmon or online, we can talk, can help you be that best you. First get you that baseline and feeling half good, great, and then get you the tools to stay that way. Or maybe you feel pretty good, but you're like, oh, this goal, or I just want to learn. This is kind of cool stuff. Reach out, man. Put the link in the comments below. And yeah, you just go book my initial intake and or schedule I do a little free call, but the intake's better as you get 2 hours for $99. That's kind of a good deal. I don't know. Anyways, check it out. And if you have questions, please let me know. And we'll see you again soon. And yeah, your comments and your results from listening to and applying this stuff, I want to know. So please let me know, and we'll see you again soon. All right, take good care. Bye-bye.